Will, I'm glad you're here. Some business came up I got to handle. So we're going to have to put our trip on hold. You understand?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Just for a couple of weeks.
I understand.
Yeah, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, I'll call you next week and we'll iron out the details. Okay?
Yeah.
It was great seeing you, son.
You too, Lou.
You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. You know, the Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all right to be angry.
Hey, why should I be mad? I'm saying at least he said goodbye this time. I just wish I hadn't wasted my money buying this stupid present.
I'm sorry. If there was something that I
Hey, you know what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, ain't like I'm still 5 years old, Ain't like I'm going to be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's Daddy coming home, Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil?
You did.
Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him! I ain't need him then and I don't need him now.
Will.
Nah, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird brain, it's a plane, it's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Good morning, everyone. This is iWalter. Welcome to me. It is Wednesday at almost 4:30. Yeah, I screwed up because I was trying to put this long monologue in the beginning. Excuse me. And the reason I picked that one, that was actually from, let me see if I can find it now. It was from Will Smith, and it was from his show. What was it? It was from that Fresh Prince, I guess it was called, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I personally never watched it myself, but this guy posted this, and I got his name. I'm just trying to close out unwanted stuff. But anyway, the guy I grabbed it off of, it was C.C. Rogers, originally where it came from. He posted it, and it was he's a musician. And I was I watched this because I never watched The Prince of Bel-Air. I remember listening to Will Smith, years ago when he was DJ Jazzy. What was it, DJ Jazzy in The Fresh Prince? Not the TV comedy series. So, obviously I had taken it just to be a comedy. I never knew it was had some serious moments. And, I saw this, And it was like, I was almost in tears today because it was like, Will Smith is a really good actor. I mean, he's gotten some roles I really don't like, but there's certain things he has, done in the past that is just incredible. And this would definitely be one of his moments that he really proves how good of an actor he really is. So I had to put that in there because there were some other ones I wanted to use. I'll use those for later shows that were really good, really funny, actually. That obviously was not funny, but it was really powerful. I mean, he just really grabbed your attention, and he definitely wrenched your heart. Will Smith, and I was shocked. It almost makes me want to watch. You know what, though? I have so many shows that are, again, I mentioned this before, they're just in shrink wrap. And who knows? Eventually, I do try to get around to everything I buy, but there's certain things I just never get a chance. Probably when I'm retired, when I have nothing else better to do, I'll just be watching all these box sets that I bought that I haven't watched now. Yeah, the guy Cece, he wrote underneath, still hurts when I see, as I can truly relate. Guess I always carry this pain, but through it all, I made it. But actually, this is numbered by faith. But yeah, I don't know, because I have no clue. I know it was the Prince of Bel-Air because they had the TV show, because it had it like the credits end. But yeah, that was like so powerful. It just really blew my mind when I saw that. Didn't realize, I thought the show was just pure comedy. It just shows you, again, why they pick, Will Smith for a lot of stuff. He was obviously from around here, not too far. He was from outskirts of Philly. So he's in my neck of the woods, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, there was just even a symbolic thing at the very end. He bought this statue for his real dad, I guess. I don't know anything about the show. And they show it's like, one of these artistic figures, and it's of a father holding the son. And it was like, wow. The whole, just the way he gave he basically, Will Smith gave the lines. It was just very moving. I mean, I like to see him do more stuff like that. I mean, because the man is an incredible actor. This is just one of these moments that he proved himself. I'll tell you that much. Makes me want to actually watch that whole episode what led up to that. Maybe even more. Anyway, I honestly don't want to do this, but I promised a friend, and Matt, you know who it is. He wrote a top 5 list, and basically it's more of a way to just make me look like an ass. So if I don't do it, though, it makes me look like, oh, well, you can't take constructive criticism. But I just know, it's basically making digs about my show, which you're going to get. I mean, that's the whole purpose of having a show, is you're going to get good and bad feedback. But this in particular is almost somewhat hurtful. So I'm just letting you know. I got to look for it again because I actually had it. Because, I make my show what I want. It's a podcast. It's a way of me to vent. I mean, if people are willing to pay me, decent amount of money, then I'll actually try to make more of an attempt to make my show less, more error-free. But the fact that I am doing it out of pocket, and, it was something I'm experimenting with every time I put on a new show, I don't know what else to say. But I'll do it for him, but it's a little bit more of a dig, in my opinion. And he emailed me. He said, a contribution for my show, and he said, top 5 things frequently heard on iWalter's podcast. So you be the judge of what you think, but I just had taken it as a dig. He put as number 5, I apologize. Basically stuff I say all the time. Number 4, I'm not even going to pronounce his name. You know what? People like Rush, because I've heard this before, just going to let you know. But I've heard this on Rush, actually even Howard probably. that Russia's actually got stumped on some words. And the man's a very smart man. But he's got stumped on words, and you don't hear the people in the background, but he actually has somebody say, he or her asked the people you don't hear on Russia show her say, okay, how do you pronounce this word? Am I saying it right? And here get somebody to actually tell them what the word is. But I'm doing this right now at 4 o'clock in the morning. I generally do it between 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning around now. And there is no one I can ask, hey, wait a minute, how do you pronounce this word correctly? So I am actually really, basically doing this by the seat of my pants. I just want to let you know, again, I will take the criticism, but I'm obviously going to defend myself. I mean, it's just common sense. Now, I'm sure I'm going to hear back from my friend Matt. He's going to say, why didn't you just read him straight through? Because you're trying to make an ass out of me. I'm just letting you know. I understand you think it's funny, but it really isn't. To me. Anyway, number 4, he said, I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Number 3, no offense. Number 2, I can't say that word. And number 1, it's on my Facebook page. Well, yes, because my show is based upon what I read on Facebook. I mean, I get my material. I do look for other places. It's the simplest. I mean, it's carefree on Facebook. It does give you a lot of sources because a lot of people do go through Facebook. Now, I could go through Drudge, but I'm trying to make my show, but also a combination of what I have experienced in the past by, my influences, which is, I get influenced by, basically Rush Limbaugh, and also like Howard Stern. So I try to incorporate a little bit of that in there. And Robin actually just reads basically fluff news. So, and I actually am more comfortable with that. Maybe I don't, correctly read everybody's name off, or I mess up, quite a lot. In fact, yesterday I was going to mention, there was a couple of things I mentioned on the show. Like I said, me and this girl, it was a friend of mine, her name was Cindy. I said, oh, yeah, we used to go down New Hope. We never went to New Hope. We actually always used to go down to South Street. And we went like a couple times. So I made a mistake. That's just like one mistake I made, but I corrected myself. And there was a couple other mistakes. I'm always going to make mistakes on my show because I'm actually doing this. There is no script. I am not reading off a teleprompter. I'm just doing it carefree and basically whatever comes off the top of my head. Because I'll go back and listen to my shows the next day, and it's like, wait a minute, I really messed up here, or I messed up there. But, again, it's a learning experience, and sometimes I do this, obviously, in real life, where I'll say something, and somebody said, they'll say, what do you mean by this? And I said, what are you talking about? So sometimes, it's like a brain fart, I guess they call it. Like, I'll say something, I don't realize I say it, but be able to record my shows, and I really don't have the time because otherwise I would get no sleep, literally no sleep. I say I don't get any sleep, but I get at least a couple hours sleep every night before I have to go back to work. Now, the good thing is though, I catch myself. I'll say things that I don't even realize I had that came out of my mouth. So it is pure. I guess, that old term of Freudian slip, it's almost like on that line, like things come out and I don't even realize I'm saying them. So anyway, I just want to clarify those few things. If you have any problems with my show or you have any comments, I just want to let you know I will read them. But I'm also going to give you my opinion as well. It's just what I do. There was one story that my friend Todd had sent me. And it was actually on the Reporter News. So I'm not going to say it was on Facebook, but Facebook is the best way for me and other people to communicate with me. So if they have something they want me to read or even comment on, the best way to get me is on Facebook. But anyway, this was on the Reporter News, and it says cops in Lansdale. Basically, it says cops, Lansdale man flaunted genitals at angry bar crowd. And it's kind of funny. This was yesterday. I wanted to read this, and it got lost in my pile of stories. In fact, I never even opened it up. So this guy, like, it's funny because I even mentioned to a friend, now, he is correct. I said that thank goodness that now they are enforcing the curfew time because there should be less kids out on the road. And he had stated that, well, it's not kids probably at all, if any, because most of them don't stay out that late. It was like, well, you know what? We were young at one time. We were kids at one point. And when somebody tells you to do something, the first thing you're going to do is do the complete opposite. Like, you're not going to pay attention. So this case is not one of them because the person in this article I just started reading, he's 48 years old. But he was basically, he was so drunk that he pulled his pants down and flaunted his genitals. So the cops heard this riot from this guy, Angel L. Looks like Perez, but this guy like pulled his pants down and he made a thing, and it was basically in Lansdale, right around where I work, and it was around 1:30. So I get done at 12:30, but sometimes I talk to a coworker / friend, and you know I don't get home or even remotely leave the plant site where I work until around that time. Maybe not 1:30, but around 1 o'clock at least. It's happened many of times. Sometimes I'm a little lucky I leave earlier. But this guy was like, he got charged for like drunkenness and disorderly conduct. But it was on August 21st, and it was outside Montella's Sports Bar and Pub at the 25th Street, 25th South Broad Street. So, you know, I basically work off of Broad Street, so it's not that far from where I work. And, yeah, he caused a riot, so they obviously charged him. But this, again, and this man, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but he was 48 years old. So, yeah, I got to deal with this every night coming home. I'm coming home from work. These people probably don't even have jobs. If you're out at like 1:30 in the morning, you're obviously not going to work the next day. So this guy is no offense, he's some type of loser who would basically is sponging off the government, I'm sure. I mean, I could be just making this up. I don't know. But most people I know, they either go to work at like 8 o'clock in the morning or earlier. And if you're out at 1:30 during a weeknight, because I don't remember what day this was. I said the 21st, but I'm not going to bother to look it up. It says August 21st. Actually, maybe I can. Let me see. Because now it's technically, well, it's September 2nd. So I got to do the time warp again. I got to go backwards. And that means me opening up my, what do you call it? My calendar on my computer. And checking out. Before I make a total ass of myself, I know, it's not that hard to do. I've heard that many a times. Okay, yeah, it was a Friday night, so that could be somewhat understandable. Maybe I have to take back what I said. Not that I will, but maybe I should because it was a Friday night. So this guy was obviously not working the next day. Who knows, though, because honestly, where I work, people also work weekends as part of their normal day. Like some people, Friday could be either their Monday or their Tuesday or their Wednesday. So give or take, either way, I don't know much about this guy. I'm just saying the guy, either way, is a loser if he gets himself drunk enough that he's pulling down his pants, showing his penis off to the world. But I got to deal with this every single day I come home, every night I come home. And trust me, it becomes very irritating. You're trying to come home and you got people tailgating you, high beaming you, and trying to run you off the road. And I've had that actually happen, literally. Or even try to pass you on a double yellow line because going 75 miles an hour doesn't seem to be quite fast enough, even though the speed limit's like 45. So, and that's actually funny because right outside where I live in my development, there's this little section of patch of road. It's on the bottom of a hill, And people love to like go around. There's like a little island, which is not a passing lane, but they use it as one. And right now, I hate to say this is my dark side, but I was almost hoping one of those idiots would try to pass me on this little, basically it's not even road, this little patch on the side. Because I have to go into my development, I got to make a left. And people can't even wait 30 seconds. And then again, it's on the bottom of a hill. So what they do is they literally speed up on the top of the hill like it's a roller coaster. And then they try to like act like you're not, hey, you're blocking me for like less than a millisecond. They're that impatient. They basically go off into this little ditch to get around. Well, guess what? Somebody might have did that, or basically made that move one too many times. So today, when I was going to work, and it was still there tonight, was basically a dead deer. So yeah, you can see it during the day, and yes, that's going to block anybody who tries to basically drive off the road to try to pass you. At the last second, because you can't. There is a deer in that little ditch where people drive into. So to me, it's kind of funny because at nighttime you cannot see the deer. Now, like I knew where it was, so I knew what to expect. But if somebody would have rode up on my ass tonight, like they normally do, trying to be real impatient and being an asshole, they would have been in for a rude awakening, because they would have been basically bottoming out their car when they run over this deer. It looked like a female, too, because it wasn't very big. It could have been just like, it wasn't small, but it wasn't real big. So that's my dark side. And it's funny, though, because I mentioned to the friend, a friend commented on my show, I guess, after I said, well, I'm really glad they pushed the curfew now, because maybe they'll keep a lot of these kids off the road at nights, because they have, curfew. And he stated that, well, maybe, these kids, these can't be kids because they wouldn't be out that late anyway. And it's like, well, I hate to tell you, again, these kids don't have any discipline. They don't have parents that discipline them or tell them, oh, you need to do this or you need to abide by this rule. No, the parents are trying to be like friends to these kids, and especially around here. So after I read that was actually, yes, that was on Facebook, and it was on a link for the police department on Facebook, because that's what it actually said. That's where I found it. But anyway, what was I going to say? I'm sorry, I keep on pushing my head back. Don't ask why. Right after I read that article, lo and behold, it was like a day later, and I saw it again tonight. The police have been patrolling the neighborhoods. There's a church up the road from where I live. There's like one main church up from where I live. Well, they were patrolling that. They were patrolling the neighborhoods. So why would they be doing that? Well, let me think. Maybe because they're just making sure that these kids aren't out, past their curfew time. And I'm sure they wouldn't be doing it otherwise, because obviously there's a reason why they're doing that. So that's just, again, that is my opinion. So I'm letting you know that too. I'm not saying, I got evidence that can prove this right or wrong. Because you know what? Honestly, who really cares to begin with? Probably nobody. Do I care too much? Possibly. Do I care that I care too much? Not really. So just making that also known. So, yeah, I mean, nitpicking everything I do on a stupid podcast is, to say the least, it's really bad. Why do you need to dissect it? I'm just saying, just letting people know. But again, I don't want to scare anybody off for making their opinions or statements, because I'll just, would give me more something to talk about than what I normally do, which is just read stories randomly, which I normally do. And I don't mind doing that, because so far, knock on wood, it seems to have been working. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that few stuff. You know what? I'm gonna dig through because I did push some stuff up. One I was really surprised about. One of my stories I had propped up, or basically queued up, I should say. Right? Is that the correct word? Got to be politically correct on everything. No, seriously though. Now I don't see it. That's really weird. But it was on that TV show, which honestly, I've never watched it. It was Hannibal Lecter. I'm going to have to see if I can re-dig it up. The TV series. And they were showing I don't know if the show was done with now. Did they cancel it or something? But they were mentioning how that is one of the most disturbing TV shows. It's the most violent. I thought some of the stuff graphically violent. Because I always thought, not that I watched that, because I found it a little bit boring still, is The Walking Dead. I actually have found myself completely bored even already with... I watched the one show, and that was more than enough. Fear of the Walking Dead. So, yeah, my attention span's very short. But, yeah, these pictures are for... It was on bloodydisgusting.com, by the way. This thing on Hannibal, the TV show, were so grotesque. And it's it almost intrigued me to the point, I really got to watch this show. But in another sense, it's this is beyond movie gross. This is really gross. And this is on regular TV. Anyway, it was written by Trace Thurman. And it said the most horrific scenes in NBC's Hannibal updated, and it shows 21 of them, and trust me, these would make you lose your lunch. They're really pretty graphic. It says they published this piece back in June when Hannibal's third season premiered, but since then, now there's 13 more episodes full of grotesque things, and we thought we would update the list of basically this stuff that Hannibal Lecter does. And it states, again, it's on bloodydisgusting.com. It says there's no secret that NBC's Hannibal is one of the most visually stunning series on television. Visually would be, yes, definitely the word, but basically, like I said, probably make you want to lose your lunch. So this person actually wrote in his story, he actually said that, some of this stuff he basically did get, I believe, it actually kind of made him a little bit sick. Now, in some ways, that's kind of impressive because that just tells you, for the people who do, I like to call it maybe graphic arts or that kind of thing, hey, if they can make it look that real, that convincing, that's really good. I mean, for the person who's the artist. But it's just as long as it doesn't give people the wrong idea, because that's the problem always also. It says this guy, Zach Thompson, said that the third season firmly reestablishes Hannibal as the best horror show on television. Now, I've never seen any of it. I heard people talk about it. I just didn't realize how gross it is. So, I mean, they showed this guy, it looks like his face is ripped off, whatever. And there's a guy that's just another one where this guy's being decomposed in the ground, and he's still alive. I mean, it's really, really gross. I'm just going to go see if I can just explain what's happening in these pictures. There's another one with this guy, I guess it's Hannibal, because I really don't know who the actor is who plays Hannibal. But he's got these people that he killed, and he's got them stringed up, and he made them look like angels by pulling the skin off their back. I mean, and it's really, really gross. There's another one, I guess, again, I assume it's the guy's Hannibal. He's playing the guy's throat, what do you call it? I can't even look at it. The things in your throat, as strings. And now the next one is he's got the guy's mouth, his jaw broken open, laying back at a desk. And I mean, I'm not doing a good job describing it, but it's really gross. And there's a woman whose head is basically Again, like it's almost like her jaw's been severed. And there's now this is the grossest one. I can't even watch. I'm actually physically right now, I am putting my hand over the picture. It's a moving, like one of those, what do you call those things, like with the, it's not like a movie, but it's like one of those moving, I call it like a moving picture. I forget what they're called. But anyway, he basically slit this guy's throat and pulled his tongue out while he's still alive because his tongue is moving. He pulled the tongue out through his throat, and the tongue is still moving. So I got to get rid of this picture because it's really grossing me out. And there's 21 of these hideous pictures. I think it's like a JPEG. No, not a JPEG. It's not a JPEG. But anyway, and there's another one. He's like burning this woman alive. That one, honestly, is not as bad as the guy's tongue. The guy still being alive and pulling his tongue through his throat. I mean, there is some really, I don't know how to put it, these people. Yeah, there's this one I can't even make out. Yeah, I guess some are, I assume, are like poetic justice. I don't know, but that was the whole gist of Hannibal Lecter. Like the way he killed them is he basically murdered these people or mutilate these people in the same in a poetic way, so to speak. I know it doesn't make much sense. I know that's going to be on the top 10 list, I'm sure, with my friend Matt. Again, though, I don't know. I don't know if I could stomach watching that show. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to push that up. Hey, this was pretty funny. Well, not funny, but now they're putting a lot of stuff up on Freddy Krueger because obviously Wes Craven just passed away. And I remember this. This was really big. It's on Rare Horror, and it was that song Dream Warrior. Like they actually got Robert Englund to play, I guess, in the video for the thing. But you can find that actually on rarehorror.com. It says horror reviews and recommendations. Actually, on there, they have the Ramones with Pet Sematary in the music video. They also have Dokken, obviously, Dream Warrior. I don't have to bookmark this page now. David Bowie's Cat People, AC/DC's Who Made Who, Alice Cooper's He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask. That was excellent. That was an excellent song for an excellent movie, because I love all those for Friday the 13th. I own them all. Well, until they put out the new one next year, then I won't own them all anymore, will I? Yeah, so there's that. God, it is getting late. It's going to be 5 o'clock, and I haven't even masturbated yet. So, yeah, that's the highlight, though, of my night. Not work, trust me, because that was a nightmare tonight. I found out we're not going to have any bosses the rest of the week, so the people who don't like to do work and pretend that they are working, they're not going to have anybody to stop them from not doing any work. Isn't that great? Hey, this was funny. A friend sent this to me because my nickname is Woody. And it was news from Auto Park Chrysler Jeep. And it actually looks really cool. It's a retro. They're going to make it for 2018. The Woody returns. Jeep announces Grand Wagoner for 2018. It was actually called the Woody. The Jeep Grand Wagoner, fondly known as the Woody, is finally returning to the Auto Park Chrysler Jeep dealership in 2018. So that's a little bit ways off. And we couldn't be more excited. Basically, the 2018 is still more than 2 years away from the time of this post, but we couldn't wait to write about it. The classic Woody is not only an automotive staple, it is also a major part of our childhood and hopefully our adulthood. Now, here's the thing. It's a nice sized Jeep. It does look very retro, unless that is not the one that's coming out, but I'm assuming it is. But here's the real knee slapper. It says it's up to, it can go up to 730-mile range, based, I guess, on a tank full, because, now this is really impressive for a bigger car. it basically is kind of like an SUV. It gets 30 miles per gallon, so that's not bad for something that's like really big, and especially for Jeeps, because most of the Jeeps I know don't get that kind of mileage. It says, what do we know? Jeep's engineering vastly improved since the classic Jeep Wrangler, which was released on the market in 1963. Will the 2018 guzzle gas? Well, if it's getting 30 miles a gallon, no, I don't think it will. So that is really, really, really cool. Now, they say it won't come out until 2018, but technically 2018's model probably, well, it's only 2015, but will probably come out somewhere probably early 2017, I would assume, because usually they will put out the next year's model. If they're already announced it, I think they'll probably put it out a little sooner. Because that it would be otherwise 3 years away. But it looks pretty cool. Yeah, you can find that. And I don't know exactly, because the one they're showing actually has a metal grille on the front. It looks like, the original one. Then I've made retro cars before, but they never made a retro car that gets that kind of gas mileage. It does say diesel, too. That might be the main reason why it's getting that kind of gas mileage. I don't have anything to read on this one, but it was really cool otherwise. And it is... The dumb thing was... It's Cronenberg. Okay, and I just lost it. It's David Cronenberg's made some really cool films, which you either like him or you don't. His earlier films were interesting, but they show him as a young guy in this picture I have, and it basically he's basically leaning on reels of movies he made. It's a prop, kind of picture, but it's basically, it shows, movies he's done. Like the film reel, Scanners, The Brood, Rabbit, which I think I might have watched part of Rabbit, and, Rabies, Rabbit, not Rabbit, but Rabbit, as in like throbbing at the mouth and things like that. I think I did see that film. And They Came From Within. That one I'm not too sure about. But the picture is a very good publicity shot of him when he was younger. He made some really some cool films. Scanners was actually really cool. I remember when it came out, I never bothered to see it. I was too young anyway. I wouldn't be able to have gone to see that. So I eventually rented it, I think, because I don't steal anymore. I don't really want to use this word steal, but I didn't do that share thing. I stopped doing that once I knew I would lose my internet probably forever if I continue to go that direction. I learned my lesson, and I don't do that anymore. So I ended up renting that movie, again, of Scanners, and that was like pretty cool. Actually, it was really cool. And you know what? I got so many DVDs anymore. I might even have bought it at one point. I don't even know if I did or didn't. I think I rented it. Had rented the film. Anyway, I had on my timeline on Facebook to give out a happy birthday to George Maharis, born September 1st, 1928. That was from MeTV, by the way. They put up happy 87th birthday to the Route 66 actor. Okay, that's where he was from. Okay. I had to put this one up because it looked cool. This was something else. It was on somebody's timeline. And it says with Judy Graham. Walter with Judy Graham. But it was this movie. Actually, I don't know if it's a movie or it might be a series. It's online, and I'm pretty sure it's free. But it's called Amish Devil, and it is really bizarre. And I had the link up. So, yeah, if you even just put in Amish Devil, it will bring you to the right direction. It is free online. Shock and horror, uncensored, a film. It says a film, though. A film by Damien Zygot. It's almost like, isn't a zygote? You learned that in chemistry, actually. Was that chemistry? Yeah, I think it was. But, yeah, the movie's called Amish Devil. I was trying to see if I could rent it, but I think it's, again... There's a link, though. I'm going to see if... Okay, there's something called Devil's Playground. I think that's different. Yeah, I think that's different. But yeah, it was funny because I have a friend who lives now he lives in Lancaster, Amish country, and it was like I had to put all that on his page. Actually, I should look for that because that way I can give you a clear thing because I posted all this stuff. It was my friend Todd. I'm sorry, I saw something I thought I might want to read, which I would, but it's just getting really late. So, I know. I posted a lot of stuff with this Amish Devil stuff on his webpage. Yeah, it's Vimeo.com. It's that video thing that's like YouTube, but I think YouTube now takes a lot of their stuff off of there. And I posted a couple links on his page. One was Indie Horror Amish Devil is Creepy and has a strange behind-the-scene story, and that was on moviepilot.com. So I'm getting off of my friend Todd's page now. But, there is a link on that Vimeo or whatever for, I think it's like little shorts. It is a short, or it's little shorts. So the film is basically free if you go to that Vimeo or whatever. But yeah, the one that Movie Pilot put up says Damien Zygot, A Deal with the Devlin. And that was on August 25th that was posted. And you, again, from that one, from Movie Pilot, you can actually get Amish Devil. It says teaser trailer, though. But I thought there was a little bit more that they give you. Like they give you there is a link like the film, I don't even think you can get it because it says Amish Devil movie series now showing on that Vimeo or something, Vimeo. It's a movie series actually, but they're free, so that's what part's cool, and they are quite surreal and bizarre. And it says exclusive VIP subscription package. I don't know what that consists of. Oh, subscribe for $10 a month, unlimited streaming. But it says Amish Devil. I guess it's like 2 parts so far. Like it's going to be a series. The first one's free. It's only 5 minutes. The second one is a series only. So then they try to get you to subscribe for the $10 a month. I'm almost tempted to do it because it looks really cool. But the only thing is that's $10 more I'll be wasting if I do that. Members only presentation of Amish Devil. Yeah, they're trying to get you to subscribe though. But the poster is pretty wild look. It's pretty. There's like a movie poster, even though it's an online deal, of some chick, and she's kind of nude, and they cover her boobies with shock and horror, the word shock and horror, and they cover the other part. I might even use that from my thing because I really like that. That way, people can get an idea. I'm going to put that as my my little thing tonight. See if it works. Yep, it worked. Alrighty. Yeah, if you like stuff that's kind of weird and David Lynchy, it almost kind of reminds me of that in some bizarre way. A little bit more bizarre though. So, alrighty. I had a couple other stories I thought. And I might have actually closed them all down. I've done this in the past. Hey, this was pretty cool, too. If you're a Doctor Who fan like I am, there's this web link called tonecartoons.co.uk, basically .com.uk. And they got these cartoony shirts of, like, little stuff with dialects. One is Dialect Adam, I guess Hitchhikers, Douglas Adams. Control Alt Dialect Da Vinci. They're really cool looking shirts. Not that I need them. I got so many shirts right now. I need another t-shirt that I'll throw in a bucket like I need another hole in my ass. So let me see if I did close everything down. I probably did. There's a way I can check that out. Nope, I didn't. Thank goodness. So anyway, I would say check out Amish Devil. Just put that in, or just look at my Facebook page, look at my Facebook page. You'll find the links to the free movie intro. And if you like it, just subscribe for the $10 a month. It looks really awesome, though. It's an independent thing, so I'm always for that stuff. Or also check out, again, moviepilot.com, because they'll give you some information on this mini series of movies. There's a picture that actually made it on Fangoria, that magazine, so this is like pretty cool. Yeah, you have to go to that Vivimo, to get your thing. I'm convincing myself to waste more money. And it's actually really easy to do. What am I thinking? I'm actually going to put it on my Facebook page so I know I have it. Sorry again, because yes, I am just, what do you call it? I'm just I'm stalling. And it's not a good time because right now it's after 5 o'clock. So let me see what's next on my list. Spoilers. Yeah, this looked really cool, by the way. This was on comicbookmovie.com, and it's a spoiler. Batman and the Joker return to the set of Suicide Squad for new photos. It looks really cool. I just think they gave way too much away, though. Principal photographer may have now wrapped up, but the stunt doubles for Batman, Harley Quinn, and the Joker have been spotted in Toronto, and the scenes they were involved in with may just reveal some major Suicide Squad spoilers. Hit the jump to check out the photos and video. So there's a little bit more. They actually do show you a little bit more. I think they're just kind of giving too much away. But yeah, now they're doing all they're fine tuning the movie of the Suicide Squad. I didn't think it looked that impressive at first, but yeah, they were in Toronto doing the work with the stunt doubles. And actually, there is a link that they do send you to, and it's on etalk.ca, which is Canada. So, if you want to check that out, that's where you go. There's some pictures, some publicity shots with the stunt doubles. And it is kind of cool watching that stuff, because I know I did that, and it looks completely different. Like, when you see them when they shoot stuff behind the scenes, when it finally makes it to TV or to the movies, it looks completely different. Because I actually sat in that one time, this was a couple years ago now, when I went down to, and I watched them shoot. This was down in Atlanta, Georgia, outside Atlanta. No, actually it was in Atlanta, Georgia. They were shooting that show, Vampire Diaries. And they were shooting one particular scene, which had taken them hours. I mean, literally hours. It only lasted no more than a minute or two, but they had taken them all day and all night just to shoot this one freaking scene that lasted like no more than 2 minutes. I'm not even kidding. I tried to grab a drink in there, so I hope it didn't show up. Hey, there was some funny stuff. Again, I wanted to post as my intro for the show, and I did not, on theonion.com. And one was, Pope cleans up dead angel who flew into the Sistine Chapel. I said 16, a Sistine Chapel window. And it shows the Pope with a shovel in the bag, and he's going to scrape up an angel that ran into, basically flew itself into a window. So it's pretty funny look in the picture. Vatican City hurrying outside after hearing a disturbingly loud thug against the side of the church. Pope Francis was reportedly left to clean up the remains of a dead angel Monday that flew straight into one of the Sistine Chapel's windows. And there's a little bit more, but I'm not going to ruin it. It's good. This other one's kind of funny. I made a comment about one of my friends that it's kind of like him. I'm not going to read this whole one. Area man's intelligence probably just too intimidating for most women. Milwaukee was the location, describing his mind as both a blessing and a curse. Local man Benjamin Walker, 27, told reporters Thursday that his intellect was probably just too intimidating for most women to engage with romantically. Well, I can't use that excuse, so this is a little bit lengthy, this article, but it's pretty funny. So, and I read this one. And I read this one. This is good because I want to head out soon. So, yeah, that might be it for tonight. I have to cut this because it is after 5 o'clock, and if I go to bed at 7 again, it's going to kill me. You can actually find some other really cool stuff on my Facebook page. Really cool stuff. This one was actually pretty funny. You actually have to watch it, though. And it was sent by a friend, my friend Todd. And it was on brobible.com. And it's this video. And it's the video shows this guy in a Ferrari. And his woman, she's not bad looking, but she's got like an ultra tight skirt on. And in the picture, and the video, too. And she's walking, and she makes a lewd comment to this guy. And it's titled, by the way, this will give it away. Bro in a Ferrari gets his revenge when a girl on a phone yells at him about his car being too loud. So he scares the shit out of the woman in the video. And it's like, that's called the instant karma also. You shouldn't be walking around and crossing streets, by the way, lady, while talking on the cell phone and then saying, hey, you're disturbing my phone conversation. Why are you talking while walking? You shouldn't be doing that. I mean, that's just as bad as driving and talking. But, you know, obviously the woman's pretty much a moron. And that got cured right away. And I don't blame this guy in the Ferrari. They're just loud cars to begin with. You can't help it. There is no such thing as a Ferrari that's too loud. The sound of a Ferrari engine is pure sex on the ears. Savor it, lady. That's pretty good. By the way, my obsessive-compulsive thing tonight was, because I love her, she's 65 now, I think. She just turned 65 this year. Is my woman, I like to think of her that way, is, because I saw her one time in person, actually twice, 2 different conventions, comic book conventions, and it was Erin Gray. And I got a photo with her, and you know what? For the life of me, I don't know what I did with the photo, because it was on like one of my flash drives. And I have no clue what I did with it. I wish I did, because I don't care how old she gets. It's Erin Gray, for Christ's sake. This is the woman that I had many pleasurable nights with by myself. And with her, without her actually physically being there. But, you know, that's a different story. But yeah. Oh, you know what? This is really cool, too. Well, Erin Gray is just hot. But, no, this is really cool. This is freaky, by the way. I found this, and it was on the Best of Tumblr's video, and it's this woman, she basically either, I guess she painted her hand or something. It's a very good artwork on her hand, the back of her hand, and it looks like there is flesh and parts of ligament and bone going through parts of her hand, her fingers. So it's painted in such a way that when you see it in what do you call it? In normal light, it just looks like basically it was drawn on. But then she puts it over top, like the sections where the bone's supposed to be showing through, it's black. She had it painted black. So when she moves her hand, I guess over her pant leg or something or whatever, she's got black pants on, it actually looks like fragments of her hand is missing, and it's really freaky. I mean, it almost kind of like is beyond freaky. It actually is kind of like gross looking. But I mean, that's really cool because it looks real. So yeah, I would say check that out. I just try to get people on my Facebook page. I'll admit to it. Why am I going to lie about it? But also to listen to my show. So I'm always looking for new listeners, and I always try to put sexy pictures up of women. And don't worry, don't try to look or expect me to put up pictures of guys that look good looking. I'm not looking for the guys. I'm looking for the women that look really hot. Oh, by the way, it's funny, but not this weekend, not this Labor Day weekend. But the following that, like a week away, there's this Doctor Who thing. It's on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, so I had to take my personal time in order to do this, to go see Doctor Who in the movie theaters. It's one of the TV shows, but they made it 3D, and they're showing it on the big screen. So, hey, I'm there. And heads up, by the way, but even more cooler, I know that's not a word, but I'm going to say it is. Just make believe that it really is a word. There's a word called cooler now, because Walter made it up. And because I did, it does exist. They're actually going to put the one with Anthony Perkins, the original Psycho, the only one that really matters, in the movie theaters for a limited time. And around here, at my movie theater in Oaks, which after I'm done this show, and I've got to remind myself to buy a ticket, they're showing it at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock in Oaks, and it will be on the 20th of this month. So it was like, yes, that would be so awesome. Yeah, it's black and white and stuff, but you're talking the original Psycho. One-time deal. Well, I think that's it has become more of a thing to do, is like to see classic movies in the movie theaters. Because believe it or not, Turner Broadcasting now, they do that on a regular basis. They will release old classic movies in the movie theater. So, how awesome is that? Like, I'll go to these movie houses that are basically, I guess they're equivalent to like dollar theaters, because that's all they do show are old movies. But, it seems like Turner had actually now went one step further and like, listen, we're going to be putting this stuff out in the big theaters on a regular basis. So this month, it's going to be Psycho. Sorry, there was a bug that flew in my face and I didn't kill it. Little gnat. I hate those damn things. So anyway, hey, if you're a big fan of Anthony Perkins, or even the Psycho TV series, which I actually purchased the last season, didn't bother to finish it out. I'd actually probably recommend, see where it all started with this one movie that, influenced people for how many years now of Psycho, because that's like really awesome. I got to get my ticket for that. So everyone, enough of me for tonight, or on this Wednesday morning of September 2nd, but I hope you enjoyed my show. I am signing off for now, and have a good morning.